All right, so you've heard that the Illuminati or the Vatican CIA maintain a lot of their power by controlling or supporting both sides of the conflict. Well, let me explain that a little bit more. You can never trust the CIA Vatican. And what they'll do is they'll often give you the idea that they're supporting you. You get done uploading a video on the internet. This is from my experience. And I'll walk out and they'll have these plants drive by saluting me. Like, good job, soldier. Or nodding their head like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, man. Good job exposing our corruption, dude. Or when I wore a blue jacket, they all wore blue jackets with number 4s on it or number 10s on it. And when I wore a brown jacket, a brown like Carhartt work jacket, they all got brown Carhartt work jackets. This is a thing for them to subliminally make you think that they're copying you or that they're the same as you. But most of these guys, they don't know what they're doing. They get told what to do. They have no idea why they're told to wear a certain jacket. They have no idea why they're told to salute you. They just got done playing poker with a bunch of other fucking low IQ mutts and watching TV. And they're all told to put on this type of jackets and drive by this guy and salute him. So don't buy into that. When most people realize they're being targeted by the program or being watched, they'll react in a few different ways. Some people will start to get sweet on it. I knew I was great. I knew I was someone to be admired and paid attention to, but I never knew I was that important. Ooh, how wonderful. Finally, someone who appreciates true greatness. So let me skip around and be cool to everybody. That's one way. Another way is they kind of say, yeah, I see what you're doing and I want to get down. So they start imitating the agents. They'll put on sunglasses like them, they'll dress like them, they'll start acting like them. And of course, they start reacting to their subliminal directions, so they get pointed along. The CIA has a bunch of fronts. Like, they have all the money, they got the printing presses for money. So it's not going to be CIA headquarters they're all going to get marched into. They're all going to be marched in different fronts. And they just want the perfect slaves that will take direction. And then they'll choose who will advance into more de-evolution with the true fucking plans after that. And so the most hardcore CIA people, like I say, they look like they're in a state of being de-evolved. They walk around, a lot of these guys, with their eyes shut, hunched over, just looking like slaves, just staring at the world like they're like some gaunt Salem's Lot type vampire, some bug-eyed fester that's just looking at the world through horror. So this is what the Pleiadians have experienced. The Pleiadians have stopped the program lots of times. They've supported people that have put up a fight. So eventually the Pleiadians say, okay, you're one of us. And the Pleiadians use their tech to stop this attack. And what the Pleiadians have seen to happen is that the targets think that the CIA or the Vatican stopped the attack on them. That the CIA Vatican woke up and said, you passed the test. Or, yeah, he's had enough, or she's had enough. And so the target begins to think they're not so bad. They seen the light. They saw I was a good guy. They knew mercy. All this is untrue. They will never stop until you're dead. And if the nightmares finally stop for you, it's because a Pleiadian helped you. Not because the CIA Vatican decided to relent. They never stop. They are programmed to destroy you. Even if a little handler doesn't look too bad, some little half-wit handler who likes to play, cards, and he has a stamp collection, and he laughs at the television set. He reports to a compassionless, compartmentalized, which means he's not too bright, military guy, who reports to even a bigger hardcore plant military guy, who reports to some pedophile Vatican Gargamel type character, who reports to some archbishop witch, who's controlled by basically a gray computer system, who's controlled by reptilians from Alpha Draconis. So even though your little neighbor who's a plant doesn't seem like he's the worst guy, he's ultimately controlled by the worst this universe has ever seen, this world has ever seen. So you can never, ever have the false concept that these people stopped themselves, or saw the light, or stopped their attack on you. If the nightmare stops, it's because the Pleiadians got your back. So with me, the first time that I started going through this, years ago, when the nightmare began years ago, I thought that I could get through to some of these plants. And instead of talking to you, the real people, who actually have the intelligence to understand what I'm saying, and the strength to do something about it, I would spend my time wasting my breath ranting to these plants that surrounded me. I knew I was being observed because they made it painfully obvious that I was being observed. So I decided to preach to them. I decided to rant to them. And it was totally ineffective. It didn't work. You end up ranting, you sound like you're talking to yourself. If you're in your house, they're banging on the walls, being jerks, and you start ranting through the walls at them. This is not good. They like to make you look like the crazy one, while they use passive-aggressive psychological warfare techniques against you. Either if they've gone through a process, or they just are selected because they are just the sleaze of the planet, who just don't care, who just basically low intelligence plants that like to watch TV and do what they're told for their $5 an hour or whatever they get, whatever they sell their soul for these days. So the important thing is to ignore these CIA plants and these Vatican plants around you. And if you got something to say, continue doing what you're doing with your communication. Whether it was your blog on the internet, your writings, your literature, your art, your music, whatever you were doing before, continue doing that. And don't let them deter you.